Well, I'm super excited to bring you this video today on the Longer Ray5 10-watt laser. I have wanted a laser for quite some time, and no, this is not going to become a laser engraving channel. So what is the purpose of a laser engraver in a modern wood shop like the one that I have? My initial thought was that as I make products to sell, I could put my logo on the back, put the date that it was made, things of that nature, customize that logo over time, and I'm not kind of locked into a branding or a branded type iron or something like that. I checked the prices of those, and to have one custom made, you're looking at about $80 to $90. This particular Ray5 10 watt was on sale on Prime Day for $191. I did purchase the 400 millimeter square Honeycomb that accompanies this particular open frame laser. I will build an enclosure for this to encapsulate the smoke mainly and to just shield the laser a little bit. One of the other aspects of owning an engraver, laser engraver, is that I could etch my patterns for scroll saw work on the workpiece and kind of skip the process of applying a pattern to a scroll saw project. Then there's the aspect of templates. You can cut 1/4 inch plywood and make a template to, say, use for a router, those kinds of things. If you don't know anything about lasers, you can pretty much engrave on numerous materials, wood, slate, ceramic tile, different metals with certain applications of paint and or films on top of those. You know, this could be a rabbit hole of different scenarios and items that you would want to make. Incorporate the laser with scroll saw projects. Maybe there's some delicate things that I could cut with the laser, engrave the pattern, and then move that over to the scroll saw and finish that up. So it's really, I'm looking at maybe incorporating several steps, and the laser is just going to be part of that. So let's unbox this and get it put together. So I've already cut this open. We have a manual. It's kind of cool how they did that. Fits in different places. There's some safety glasses, safety goggles, gel pack. Don't eat that. Looks like different bits. We'll open that up here in a second. A printer cable. This has got the big cable on that for the, like a printer. And we have the touch screen. This had covering on it. I took that off because I just wanted to make sure it was not damaged when I got it. And I was looking to see if there was an SD card in the slot, some micro SD card. Then we have the main gantry here. This is a power supply. This is really nice foam in here. That is actually the laser module. And this is upgradable to a 40 watt. All you got to do is buy the laser module, the 40 watt, the 20 watt. You can go down to a 5 watt as well. Then we have the side rails, the front rails, and then some brackets here. It's well packaged. There is branding on the outside of the box, so if it comes to your house through Amazon, people will know what is inside of this box. But I believe that Amazon will put it inside of another box if you request that, so it's generic and looks like just a plain Amazon box. So let's get all this out and kind of go through what's in the bags. So we mentioned the power supply. This is a 24 volt, 2.5 amp, 60 watt with the barrel plug on the end there. This is the laser diode, laser module, the screen on it, the shield, the laser shield. If you look online, there's different versions of this. Some of this is enclosed. It smells like fresh electronics too. Then of course we have the control panel, which is color, and it's touch. This is a touch screen, and it has the cables that goes to the module and the servos, stepper motors. And here's that cable. It has the big USB on one side here, and then I guess that's a printer cable. And there's a pair of safety goggles, which is really nice because some of these goggles that are very protective are not cheap, like 50 bucks, something like that. Then we have the main goodies bag, I guess you'd call. So this is a USB and a micro SD card in there, and this is a 8 gig, and this has the manuals for the laser on it, and it also has light burn, which you have to pay for, but the software is on here, and also laser Gerbil, which is free, and I've already actually installed that on my laptop. And there's a few projects on here as well. Then we have some tools, some sample plywood that's probably about, I don't know, 2 or 3 millimeter thick, something like that. There's a brush in here, rather cool actually, a little brush. Some wrenches, Allen wrenches, and wire ties. So I'm assuming those are the tools and materials we'll need to put this together. So there's that. This is a bag of brackets and Allen bolts. Not going to open that. More Allen screws here for assembly. Not going to open that. Same thing here with washers and Allen socket caps. All the Allens are socket caps, by the way. Looks like 2 timing belts. This is your focusing gauge. And this that is an antenna for the Wi-Fi connection. That's kind of cool. I didn't expect that. Looks like it goes on the back of the box right here. So that's what's in the box. All of the goodies that we need to assemble this, and I'm going to do that now. Well, it is almost a week later, and I have this open frame laser assembled, and I have built a makeshift enclosure that is cardboard with a frame on it, and this is permanent. This will be the extraction fan for that, and that is a dryer hose that goes into the back of this piece of wood here, this piece of plywood. It's very effective. I needed something to keep the smoke out because I did run this with no ventilation at all, and it was pretty bad here in the shop. So I do have an exhaust fan. I cut that on, but it is extremely hot right now. I have my laptop here. All right, I didn't show this, but this does close. It's hinged in the back and it closes just like that. There's a prop in the back to keep it in this position right here. And I'll tell you what, for what this is, it is amazing at how effective it is. So let me show you a couple things that I have made, and basically they were scroll saw patterns that I've cut on the laser. So I started out using laser Gerbil, and it worked fine, but the controls were kind of wonky on that. So I installed Lightburn on my laptop and was going to do the 30-day trial, but I'm going to go ahead and buy it. You're going to really like Lightburn. It has a lot of powerful features to it. One of the things that I like is you can create layers, and you can select different aspects of your project. You can select those lines and either cut that line, or you can do a fill or an engrave, as we would call it. One of the problems that I did have when I moved over to Lightburn was that you need to enable the DTR signal on Lightburn. There's a couple of videos, and I will link those in the description below. I got on the Facebook group and for Longer, and had several people comment that, hey, you need to turn on the DTR, and that stands for Data Terminal Ready. And the whole time before I did that, Lightburn was saying that the laser was busy, so it didn't know that it was actually ready. So that made sense. So if you don't know anything about lasers, one of the things you need to do is run some test patterns on materials. Now this is real wood, and it's pretty thin, maybe about 4 mils thick or something. And you do a power versus speed test to see what the optimal setting and speed would be, because you want to run, obviously you want a project to run quickly, so you run it as fast as you can at whatever power you need to achieve a cut like this. So, and those are built into Lightburn, and they're all customizable. So I'll show you. This particular one had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that's 25 cuts. Then I moved over, and this one has 20, but it also has an engraving on there. Use your material that you're going to use and run that through. So the engraving is on this side here, and this is a cut file. I think it's upside down. Yes, it is. So that is a cut file there, and this is specific for this piece of material, which is a 6mm multi-layered ply. This is that really good stuff that I like to use. You can see the layers in that. It's very, very stable, very strong. They use it for crates. And it comes from Sweden, because these are Swedish-made pumps that we use at work. You can see that on the back, on this particular one here at the top, that test was kind of like useless, right? So you really need to, and then the bottom one here, that was 2 passes there. So you can see there, that was pretty much a wash on that one. So you start to develop some set points and some levels of speed and power, and know how to set those for certain materials. So I've cut a couple of projects out that I just wanted to test. One of them is this sand dollar that is going to be either a coaster, or I have this pattern that's pretty big that you could do this in a really nice wood and hang it on the wall that you could cut out on the scroll saw. So One of the other things I developed was a door topper that is actually a fender bass. I have a Strat as well. Those of you who don't know, I was a bass player at one time, and I have retired after 30 years. But I love Fender. Fender is a great instrument, very classic. And to show you how intricate this is, so you see the fender is cut out there, right? So I kept the letters that came out of that and glued those. They're not quite lined up right, but just as a demonstration to show you what you can do when you cut out the negative space, or you're creating negative space on something like this. You could always make another product with waste like that. Not only did I test some projects that I have designed, but I also wanted to make sure that I could etch my logo into the products. Now that was done with laser burn before I opened up light burn, and that's just a fantastic state of Georgia. And it's cut out with pallet wood, and then it has a backer on it. But that is my logo, and I've actually kept the settings for that right there. So that's the main thing that I want to use this laser for. Well, I want to thank you for checking out this video today. I have a lot of videos on my channel now, a lot of things that you would probably be interested in. I have some playlists there for all of my videos if you would really like to sit down and take about a 48-hour trip through my journey here on YouTube. Those are all in there. I have scroll saw projects as well, an older series that I had called Scrolling Through Monday. And I would just really appreciate it if you would check out some of those videos. Please give us a thumbs up if you believe that I have earned that. And please comment below. I would like to hear about some of the things that you have done, or maybe you own a laser and you have some suggestions for me. I would really love to hear that. That not only helps me, but it also helps anyone that is watching these videos moving forward. Well, again, I appreciate you watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next project.